All right. Good morning. Good morning. This is Sid Owsley, host of the Determination Determines Destination podcast. And today I'm here with Lisa Regan. Lisa Regan, as a grandmother, spiritual entrepreneur, has been striving daily to be a positive force for good, especially for women's financial fitness. She has experienced a multitude of financial adventures, both positive and negative. And as Lisa says, as my 96-year-old self says to me now, go for it. There are no mistakes, only experiences. Life is what you make of it. Every moment you spend noodling what to do, you lose precious opportunity to create an experience worthy of your attention and focus. Seize the moments. You can make a difference for another person. Focus your time and attention on what you want. Stop trying to make something perfect. Trust yourself. It's a process. Make life fun in all circumstances. It's a conscious decision. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love that, Lisa. I love that. That is awesome.
Right. Well, and Sid, is you've been on your journey to become who you are, and with Les Brown's mentorship, it
Yes.
gives me so much more confidence to be able to bring and live from the inside out as a spiritual entrepreneur. I know that sounds really strange, but all my life I've felt like I didn't belong
Mhm.
and had this sense of who am I? And how do I bring that into the world and feel comfortable and confident doing so? And of course, through journeys and having negative things happen, as a female, there's times when you feel powerless and have an idea that how do I get my idea out there?
Mhm.
And when you're victimized, it's hard. I'm not making light of what we go through, but it all happens for a reason. And I've really become strongly aware of going through finding mentors and
Mhm.
being able to realize that the paradigm is there for a reason and it keeps us protected for a while. And then you keep on getting that tug to bring you forward and to realize all those lessons are meant to give a message to everybody that you have greatness in you. And whatever the negative experiences that happen, it's so that we can realize we're more than our physical experience. We,
Lisa,
yes.
briefly explain to everybody what a paradigm is. Maybe not everybody, everyone may not know exactly what a paradigm is. Just briefly explain what a paradigm is.
So, right. It actually is a bit difficult to define.
Mhm. Yeah.
What I have learned is that from the time we're born, our subconscious mind gets filled with how we should eat, what we should eat. It's all about the environment around us, and it sets in motion beliefs.
Mhm.
So, once upon a time, our culture believed that the world was flat, right? And well, come to learn that that was actually not fact, it was fiction. But as we learn through our environment, through our family, of what is real, what beliefs you're going to have moving forward. So, for example, one of my firmly held beliefs is as a female, you just be quiet, you don't think, you don't have any power. And running that firmly held belief has brought me now to being a spiritual entrepreneur. But it
Amen.
takes determined effort
Mhm.
consciously every day to, as you were talking on one of your I was just listening to you a little bit ago where you talk about the committee. So that is part of our paradigm. We have on one shoulder, you're not worthy, you're not valid, you're never going to achieve what you hold in your heart and your mind as a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the paradigm you're trying to change with
That is. And
the audience you're trying to, your audience you're targeting, trying to change that paradigm. That's
right.
great.
And it's daily. Oh, baby.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And as you know, our mentor with John Tellerico and Bob Proctor through Thinking into Results, everyone to me, you find some mentor that has
Mm-hmm.
a tool to help you realize you're not your belief system.
Okay.
You are spirit here to have an experience. So when you hold that thought against, oh my God, all these things have happened to me, and it's living from the outside in, forming and shaping your results.
Explain that more, Lisa, about what that means, living from the outside, living from the inside out versus outside in.
All right. So I'm going to share a quote that actually really resonated with me. I heard from Paul O'Mahony the other day. And it went, what other people think of me is none of my business.
That's right. Yeah.
And when I use my senses, you know, we have our sight and our ears and our sense of smell and touch and taste. It, it's like, well, really? I think I've just lived my past 56 years on the planet adhering to what other people think of me is
Mm-hmm.
what makes me. And so that is actually living from the outside in. For example, well, as a female, really, we typically make 70 cents on the dollar versus where a man's getting a dollar for a dollar per
Mm-hmm.
hour. So it sets up this cultural paradigm that we aren't as valuable
Mm-hmm.
as men. So, which means someone else's opinion is more important than my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then we block our connection with creator, the master. People have different ways of identifying with a supreme being.
Mm-hmm.
I, I have a firmly held belief that we are here from some greater form.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, as a spiritual being in a physical body, learning to have fun going through the experiences of unlearning all those beliefs that come from the outside in, and to then use your internal guidance system, because
Mm-hmm.
we all come with one, our
Yeah.
mind,
Yeah.
and getting aligned with that. So we're in a constant daily struggle to realize who we are and that someone else's opinion of me is none of my business.
That's right. Yeah.
So consciously, yes, that made sense. I'm working on changing that paradigm internally because my validation came from outside in.
Got it. Yeah. And that's the work, like you said, of changing the paradigm. We live this construct, social construct that everybody's in, and we believe that things going on outside of us is what shapes our reality, and we don't realize that we can create our own reality. We can shape things, you know, and that's the work you're doing as a spiritual entrepreneur. You know, helping people find that value within themselves. That's great work. when did you start this? When did you start this journey as a spiritual entrepreneur?
Actually, it began when I was in my 20s. And then, of course, I attracted and followed the rules of the committee to leave that journey.
Uh-huh.
Right. So when you actually have experiences that, wow, uh, this is manifesting and this is manifesting. So, quick story, I was a health insurance agent with a company called Mutual of Omaha. And in our state of Montana, there was an executive decision to cancel contracts for all producers. So my renewal commission stopped. My whole stream, one stream of income, by the way. So
Mm.
note to self,
Uh-huh.
make multiple streams of income. And then it was like, wow, I had, my daughter and at that time my former husband and lots of bills to pay. So it was like, what do you do? Panic? And I had to find a way to generate more revenue. And along came Tony Robbins,
Mhm.
and then along came network marketing, and then along came Les Brown. Through all the network marketing venues and being able to attend the huge conventions and understand that, hey, we have greatness in us,
Yeah.
and you've got to learn how to become unstoppable. So the income just went up and up and up and up. Well, no different than anything else in life
Mhm.
is one company that this president and CEO embezzled the money, so that income stopped, right? The other company lost its groove and mission. So fortunately, life turned to what else am I going to do?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I had to start over again. And instead of appreciating, of learning from the inside out instead of the outside in, it just became a struggle. The other thing was, as all that money was coming in, we had professional people advising, well, you got to set up your own uh, simplified employer plan to build money for retirement.
Mhm.
And a CPA actually recommended, oh, well, do your own trading, get an E-Trade account, get an Ameritrade account, and invest in stocks and
Mhm.
penny stocks, and then margin that account, which
This is what the
means
CPA advised.
the CPA said,
Ooh.
take that retirement money saved,
Wow.
and oh, you can get more because you can leverage the value of what you've grown. Well, paper value is only that.
Yeah.
It's paper value. Well, the funny story is, so this is quite some time ago. I think it was 2001, 2002, and primarily these stocks that I was buying
Mhm.
were all in the NASDAQ exchange,
Okay.
tech stocks.
Tech stocks. Yep.
Amazon wasn't even a thing back then,
Yeah. That's right.
but Cisco and a whole bunch of others were.
Mhm. Sun Microsystem.
Well,
Yeah.
so we had that huge tech crash,
Yep.
and I was getting phone calls from the trading company. You have to come up with real money because your margined account has fallen like 90%. So on paper, the account was worth 100,000. In a day, it was down to 10.
Wow.
And then because of that margin, you have to maintain as at least a 50% value in your account.
Mhm.
We need another like $40,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And the really ridiculous thing that I realized when I'm going through this wonderful, wonderful process and having fun while I'm doing it is I didn't even want to be the trader. My ex-husband would go about wherever he was going. Well, make sure you do this, and then make sure this is done. And I wasn't fully invested in doing what I was doing either.
Mhm.
And internally, I knew it wasn't the right thing for me to be doing.
Mhm.
So another financial collapse. So, that roller coaster of up and down financially. So as time went on, it became more important for me to start looking inside and finding out, what am I really about and how do I want to help? I am absolutely driven to help people.
Mhm.
That's just been a very subconscious piece of my life. We're all on this planet, from my perspective, to help one another, to uplift everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an awesome mission you've taken on to uplift people, and especially in these times, times of COVID and more financial crisis, political uncertainty. Yeah, people need what you have, and it's like I said, it's an awesome mission that you've taken on.
Well, geez, Sid, as being in a group of folks that are so amazing and have such compassion and drive to create and create a better place for everybody.
Yeah.
And as one individual increases their awareness,
Hmm.
actually begins to think instead of, having mental ping pong, it's a way to, a few specific actions increase the vibration for us all. And then the opportunity exists where the financial struggles don't impact you as hard,
Hmm. Hmm.
because we're all going through stuff. We're either just got out of stuff, getting ready to go into stuff, or in some stuff right now. And there are so many people
Yeah.
that really they need a survival guide, right?
Yeah.
Like Les Brown says, we
Yeah.
all need a survival guide.
That's right.
And stepping up and lending out a hand, saying, hey, I've been through some stuff too. We can all come together as community and shift that cultural belief that someone is greater than or less than.
Hmm.
That is something that hurts me deeply, that we culturally have attached to a less than or greater than
Yeah.
paradigm.
So, what are some pieces of advice you can give people to, help themselves spiritually that will carry over into, the other areas of their life, just to help them get through whatever they may be going through?
Well, the first piece of advice is, as long as you have internet and Google Les Brown, listen to him.
Yeah. Good advice. Yeah.
And there's a lot of mentors out there. So if Les doesn't work for you,
Hmm.
go with Tony Robbins or Brian Tracy or Darren Hardy, or someone who actually resonates with you. But we all have to connect to something greater than ourselves
Yeah.
externally,
Yeah.
so that the feedback that's coming in gives you a sense of, not only do I have greatness in me, but purpose, and that the sun comes up. There's always the sun coming up. There's a new day.
New day. Yeah.
And taking drastic measures to solve temporary problems such as suicide.
Mhm.
In our state of Montana, we have actually we have more suicides in our state than any other state in the country. Used to be Alaska.
Wow. Now is that due to the less sunlight or something like that? I've heard. Is that what it is?
It's partially that. It's also cultural.
Mm.
And there's one of the cultural dynamics is you just have to cowboy up.
Okay. Yeah.
And being the fact that we're a very rural state, we have a little more than 1 million people in the fourth largest state in the United States.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
And the wealth of our state happens to be concentrated in certain cities,
Mm-hmm.
but primarily, the average income is under $20,000 a year.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. So that's,
It's hard,
yeah,
you
that,
know,
yeah, that's hard.
and when you're working from the outside in and attempting to cowboy up and know you're hurting
Mm-hmm.
and hiding in shame
Mm-hmm.
because of whatever may have happened. And in the course of our school system, a lot of young people, middle school, which is anywhere from fifth to sixth grade in our state,
Mm-hmm.
through ninth grade, we have kids that are educated to believe that if they feel different, if they are having a hard time at home,
Mm-hmm.
if their family's economically challenged, you can't seek help.
Uh, yeah.
So the first piece of advice for anybody is when you're feeling either bullied or sad or not good enough, there are individuals in your community that want to help. You
Mm-hmm.
got to ask. So that is actually a key point. We got to ask for help
Yeah. Yeah. Very
because
important.
if you don't ask, you don't receive.
That's right. Right. That's great advice. A lot of people, yeah, still, stuck in the mode of just suck it up, and sometimes that works, but that there does come a time when you have to, like I said, seek help and uh, bring in somebody that can mentor you or therapy or whatever. But yeah, there's times when you need that help.
Well, and a lot of
Yeah.
our young children, for whatever specific experiences that happen to them, but it ends up just basically coming from an external power struggle where individuals who, instead of having power come from within,
Mm-hmm.
they're seeking to have power because we all need that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that manifests as bullying
Yeah.
or sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who's on the other end of the power struggle ends up feeling shame and guilt and that it's their fault.
Both. No. Yeah.
When you're at school and I'm not fitting in, and like, who knows, it might be you're more of a nerd. And so the athletic type individuals pick on the nerd, for example. And then you're shamed. And it's, well, how am I going to be something different than what I am? And you don't even go home and tell your parents about it. You don't go home with a sense of, I have greatness in me. You end up trying to hide and work through the outside in and don't have a really strong sense of who to go to.
Yeah. Lisa, shift your camera a little bit, or the computer, something, a little bit darker. Right. Okay. Yep. Okay. I see you better now. Great. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting, like you said, that this is going on with a lot more children than what we're used to uh, hearing about. A lot of children are uh, and maybe just because of the social media that we're hearing about it more. Maybe it's always been like that. I don't know, but there seems to be uh, an uptick in the number of children that are excuse me, that are taking their lives or attempting to take their lives.
Absolutely. And in my town of Butte, there was about a year and a half where we had 5 or 6 youth suicides.
Wow.
And that's tragic. We're a population around 36,000.
Oh yeah, so that, yeah.
And a lot of it had to stem from being bullied or not measuring up, not fitting into the cultural paradigm
Mm-hmm.
of our community. So, and when you look back on history, our community was founded because of mining. It was underground mining for copper,
Okay.
and we're
Tough job.
viewed as known as the richest hill on earth. However, we have got to collectively help our children
Mm-hmm.
know that they are valued and have a purpose. And you don't need to conform in order to thrive and survive. You know, not it's beyond surviving. You want the
Right.
children to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's just been a lot of internal cultural paradigms that still have us stuck
Yeah.
where you're going to conform.
Yeah. So Lisa, what future plans do you have for your being a spiritual entrepreneur? What are you looking at?
Yeah, so my big, hairy, audacious goal is as it comes from the purpose of shifting the energy paradigm of money
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that we are whole beings. So I want to see synergy holistic centers worldwide
Okay.
so that anyone
Worldwide.
worldwide
Yeah. Great.
that you can tap in and get mentorship, you can get assistance, you can get a survival guide,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and all the different subsets from that. But
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be worldwide because we're a world community.
Yeah.
And thank God for the internet.
Yeah. That's right. Awesome tool. Yeah. And that's the your that goal you have is so beautiful. You know, you want to do something worldwide to help everyone, and I can see you doing that. I can see you accomplishing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Sid. Hey, and it takes all of us.
it does.
A lot of collaboration.
Let everyone know how they can contact you so they can learn more about what you do, how you can help them out.
Well, thank you. So I'm actually on Facebook, and my name is Lisa Regan, Regan, and from Butte, Montana. And that's what I have set up right now.
All right. All right. I thank you for being on the show. It was great having you. And good luck. I know that you will achieve your goal, your big C type goal, as we say. And
That's
thank you
right.
again for being on the
I don't sure if you've heard of the big, hairy, audacious goal, but it is the C goal,
show. Yeah.
right? God, Sid, it's been such a pleasure. I'm really appreciative and grateful. And thank you for you.
Thank you. Thank you for your appreciation. It was great having you.
It's been fun.
All right, Lisa. Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Thanks.